I come.
We're going to move to
Here I come.
Gabe's Fantasy Corner.
Losers, let's go. Anyways, sorry, that was really mean. Anyways. All right, so I have a few names to go over actually today. I didn't think I was going to have that many due to the slow happenings in the league. But I got a few names, and I'm going to start with Russell Westbrook as a sell high. Give me your thoughts, Chase.
I think it's a perfect sell high. I believe he just came off of a 35-point triple-double in the last couple games.
He's putting up Jokic numbers with he's shooting 76% over the last week from free throws. So he's putting up baby Jokic numbers, averaging 28, 11, and 13 with a steal and a half and almost a block.
Yeah.
5 turnovers. But he's not going to be doing that. You know that. I think he's going to be shooting closer to 60% than he is to 70. And I don't know. I think he's a very, very useful trade asset as the fantasy trade market comes to close.
Yeah, I believe all trade deadlines for Yahoo, at least, is March 26th. So that's Friday.
That's really cool how they have it after the trade deadline.
Yeah, just in case players get moved. Russell Westbrook is solid right now, but we haven't seen anything saying he could keep it up. Wizards are also 12th in the East right now. The Cavs are half a game behind them. We don't know if Russell Westbrook's going to keep on playing. But you could get high-value players out of him right now, especially when he is averaging a triple-double over these past couple weeks.
Yeah. All right, so my next sell high right here is one Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, number 7. Right now, over the last 2 weeks, he's averaging 43% shooting, 58% from the line, so not very good efficiency, but this is where his value lies. He's averaging 2.5 threes, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.5 blocks, and a steal. 2.5 steals and a block with only 3 turnovers. Well, not only 3 turnovers, but it's still pretty good compared to Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and today he came off of a game hitting 10 threes.
Yeah. So if you're going to sell him for a guy maybe like Christian Wood or something, if someone believes that he's going to be sitting this year, I would do that for sure. Or if maybe you're looking for a big man, just any type of big man or a guard. I don't know
He's
where
a
I was
good
really
sell
going with
high.
that. But
He's a good sell high option right now,
Yeah.
just because he's coming off that big game, playing well. 10 threes is going to be all over fantasy segments.
Yeah.
He's a good sell high option, especially with the deadline coming through.
If you're a gambler, go for one of those. Try to package him in a Vooch deal or a Wood deal, because a lot of people may think that one of those two are going to sit, and maybe they have a chance to play, or maybe like a cat. It's like not alone, but like as a package, I can see them doing that. People doing that. A lot of people are afraid of shutdowns that I don't really think they should be afraid of. All right. Next on the list is going to be Victor Oladipo. We're sticking with inefficient guards for this whole episode, actually. So, Victor Oladipo. Oladipo is shooting an amazingly efficient for him 44% over the last 2 weeks.
That is really efficient for Oladipo.
83% from the line, and he's going 2.5 threes, 25.5 points, 4 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and absolutely no defensive stats. 0.3 steals.
No, the reason he's a sell high is I am about 95% sure in a week he will not be playing for the Rockets.
He will not. I know that for sure. I don't know who he's going to play for, though. Like, honestly.
I don't know either.
I have no idea where he'd go.
I know he is not playing for the Rockets as of March 30th.
Watch him get bought out.
He could get bought out.
I could see him getting bought out. Anyways, so if you could read our lips with this conversation, we're basically saying he's not going to get better than this. So deal him. Deal him for maybe a guard that you can get to have value going into the fantasy playoffs, because you're not going to get value from Victor Oladipo in that time. Sorry, Joey. The next name on this list is another inefficient guard, Anthony Edwards. What are your thoughts on Mr. Anthony Edwards?
I believe over the past 2 weeks, since All-Star break, right?
Over the past 5 weeks, he's plus 5% owned, by the way.
Okay. Since All-Star break, he's shooting 50% from the field and 39% from 3.
Well, not after this last game that he's played. He went 4 for 18 today. He's now shooting 45% since the break.
Got it. Didn't check his stats.
3.5 threes a game, though, over the last 2 weeks with 27 points and 6 boards and 3 assists, a steal and a half. I think Chris Finch is doing a really good job on the offensive side for that team, whether they win games or not, and they shouldn't be. They're making strides with their young players, which is always good to look at.
Yeah, and he'll get a ton of minutes. There's no resting for him.
Yeah, but the thing is, I do believe D'Lo will be further. They're going to want to see D'Lo and Cat together on the team for at least a couple weeks or something.
And see what they're working with. Because I don't think they've played more than 10 games together.
Yeah. I don't think they trade him because you think having Cat and D'Lo on the team makes them win more games and takes them out of contention for a really good first-round pick.
No.
So there's no reason to sit Cat. There's no reason to sit D'Lo. I just don't think either of those guys are going to sit. And I think Ant-Man's value is going to go down over time, and you could get a good deal for him maybe.
With D'Lo coming back, Anthony Edwards isn't going to be the first or second option.
I would take a top 50, top 60 player for Ant-Man.
But right now, his value is sky high.
Sky high. So
everyone wants to talk about Anthony Edwards. People are even putting him in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Yeah, which is unjustified, but I get it.
Yeah.
He's exciting.
So he is a guy you could sell high right now.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Next, we're going to go to the buy lows. The buy lows. The first buy low. Can you guess my first buy low?
First buy low. Kevin Porter Jr.
Good guess, man. Yeah, you're right. It's Kevin Porter Jr. Over the last over the last week, he's 6% owned. That's
6%. Increase?
Yeah, but that's going to be going down after Sunday because of the last few, because they update that weekly.
So I have Kevin Porter Jr. on my team.
Yeah, tell us about him. You take the reins on this. This is one of your own children here.
Yes. So I saw on Fantasy, I believe 2,500 teams dropped him yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the reason they dropped him is because he got hurt.
A lot of people have short fuses.
He hurt his quad, so he missed a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game before, he played 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So he scored, I believe, 2 points in 10 minutes. So it's not that big of a deal. Tonight, he didn't play as many minutes as he usually does. Like we said earlier in the podcast, he's going to play 36 to 40 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to get all the run he can.
Tonight, he did not get as many minutes coming back from an injury, with them wanting to show off Oladipo before the trade deadline.
Yeah. The usage is going to be sky high as well, paired with the
Sky
minutes.
high, with John Wall sitting almost every other game.
Yeah, you'd have to be a scrub not to put up numbers.
But for the people who don't know this information, try to buy it off of him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kevin Porter Jr. could give you top 50 value.
Why wouldn't you try it? I mean, he's basically Darius Garland with a little bit worse free throw percentage, but way better defensive stats.
Way better defensive stats. He's a guy, at his very peak, could give you 22 and 8.
Yeah, just wait for the next couple of years on Kevin Porter Jr. It's going to be amazing. The next guy on this list is one of my own guys, newly acquired, D'Angelo Russell. Now, I know what you're thinking. D'Lo, ew. But, listen. Before he got hurt, he was averaging 19 and 5 with a steal a game, half a block, shooting 42%, but 3 threes. That's value. And he hasn't played in, at least 5 years. So I feel like if you could give up, a low-end guy and just get D'Lo for him.
Yeah.
Because D'Lo's going to be putting up stats, and I think he's going to put up stats close to that because he's going to get the run.
You're going to see the usage that Anthony Edwards is getting right now.
Yeah, that's going to be
on D'Lo when he comes back. They want to see how Cat and D'Lo play together. They played 1 game together last season.
Another thing for the Ant-Man situation, Malik's coming back in about 5 games.
Yeah, due to the suspension.
Yeah, so just a footnote there for that.
But I think D'Angelo Russell, they're going to try to give all the reins to.
Yeah. So he's just basically at this point in the season, what you're looking for is potential high usage guys. If anyone, and then high usage guys, if other people on that team get moved and they get put in the driver's seat, those are the guys you're looking for right now. And then the last guy in that very situation, is Dennis Schroeder, who has 2 of his best players on his team out for the foreseeable future, and he's going to get all the run that he can. He's going to get high usage. Do you have any comments on Dennis Schroeder as a Laker expert?
Dennis Schroeder's percentage has not been great this season.
No, it hasn't. It's been 43%. It's
fantasy stats have been complete crap. They're not good.
Nah.
Now he's going to be one of the first options. Mm. It's going to be him, Kuzma, Talen Horton-Tucker, and Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, listen, if Kuzma and THT are going to get improved stats and everything, you gotta bet that Dennis Schroeder is gonna get increased stats.
And Schroeder is flying into the lanes.
Yeah, I mean, read off his stats from last year. You know,
Last year, he was averaging 18.9 with 1.9 threes, 3.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 0.7 steals. Like, he could get close to those numbers.
the talent's there.
He will be the number one guy. And one of the things I'm really big on him doing is look for his assists to fly up soon.
Mm-hmm.
The way he's driving into the lane,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be kicking out to KCP and Wesley Matthews, who are going to get a lot of shots.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be creating for a lot of people.
He's gonna have a lot of free throw opportunities as well. So he's a
Yeah.
good free throw shooter, and if you need a boost in free throws, he's a guy to target.
One of the lone guys who can shoot free throws on the Lakers.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so this next, I'm gonna go a little quicker through these next 3 names here. These are low end pickups. You know, maybe they could be streamers for you. Maybe they could be a little more. Who knows? First one's Matisse Thybulle. All of his values in his defense. Over the last 2 weeks, he's averaging 2.5 steals with a 1.2 blocks, and just about nothing else.
Can I add something about Matisse?
Yes, you can.
So the reason he has been doing so well lately is because he was inserted into the starting lineup when Ben Simmons is out.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons just came back today.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how effective he's going to be, but Matisse Thybulle's numbers will go down a little bit. But even still, he's getting a lot of minutes. Will get you steals and defensive stats.
Yeah, at the end of the day, on the season, he's averaging 1.6 steals and a block, and that's with Joel and Ben Simmons. So I still think that he's going to have those defensive stats that you'd stream him for. So, yeah, good defensive streamer, and Matisse Thybulle gives you the stats that are hard to find. Next guy I've decided to talk about is my child, my own child, Taylor Horton Tucker. This is pretty self-explanatory as we just went over Dennis Schroeder's stuff, but would you want to go over Taylor Horton Tucker a little bit?
Yeah, so Taylor Horton Tucker is getting a lot of run right now, mostly because we don't have very many creators with LeBron now.
Mm-hmm.
So LeBron's our primary creator, with Dennis Schroeder being our second. Taylor Horton Tucker kind of plays as point guard for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. Not a guy for spacing, though, believe it or not. He doesn't hit threes.
Does not hit threes, but he will drive into the lane. He gets those reverse layups that somehow go in every time. Will get you, I think in this stretch without LeBron and AD, he could get you around like 13 to 14 points per game with 5 assists.
He's going to be 6 man.
I believe a couple games ago he had 10 assists.
Yeah, he had 10 assists a couple games ago. He went 18, 4, and 10 that game.
Look for him to be the second creator on this team.
Yeah.
Like we said with Schroeder's assists going up, Taylor Horton Tucker's going to be the other guy.
He's a shoo-in for 6 man of the not 6 man of the year. He's the 6th man for this foreseeable future for the Lakers. So again, the keys: high usage, open opportunities. Taylor Horton crosses off all 2 of those things. So
all right, one thing I wanted to talk about: new opportunities. So last week we went over a couple of guys that came out of the G League.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking Moses Brown, Jordan Poole. We went over Pokashevsky.
Yeah.
All 3 of those guys had big breakout games. Pokashevsky had 5 threes, 35 points.
Yeah.
Moses Brown, now, today he had 13 points, 14 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole going crazy while Steph is out. Most of those guys will continue to get good minutes.
Yeah.
I think the Thunder will almost sit Horford towards the end of the season.
Thunder are going to be a fantasy gold mine.
Any of these guys on the Thunder, I'm telling you, Thunder and Rockets are where these guys are going to come out of nowhere. There's always these guys right around the playoffs that will come out of nowhere. Seth Curry, I believe, like 3-4 years ago, came out of nowhere for the Kings.
Yes.
This is where these guys are going to come out of. Ty Jerome hitting over 2 threes a game right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have
You get those
Isaiah Roby. Isaiah Roby dropped to 18 points today. He's their go-to scorer when Shea is out.
Mm.
Most would think Lou Dort. Nope, Isaiah Roby.
Mm-hmm.
Kenrich Williams also getting a lot of run. One thing I noticed today watching the game. So this is Svi Mikhailuk's second game on the Thunder. He was playing pretty well, getting a lot of open threes.
Man, he's a good shooter.
And it was fun watching him play and see how many different ways the Rockets announcers could try to pronounce his last name. It's Svi Mikhailuk.
McLaughlin.
Like, they went everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, watching the Rockets announcers trying to pronounce Mikhailuk and Pokashevsky.
It brings me back to Anthony.
Back when everyone first found out about Giannis.
But yeah, no, listen. Thunder fantasy goldmine for the last half of this fantasy season. Again, Roby, I think he's maybe a bit more of a streamer due to the fact that he's kind of a one-dimensional fantasy asset. He's not going to cover that many different stats, and the stats he does give you, they're mid-end. But listen, that's what you're asking for in this segment. That's what you're looking for. So, yeah, Roby, someone you go for. If you want someone with more upside, I'd say Pokashevsky, just because he's a unicorn in the making.
The only thing, I touched on this last week, Pokashevsky could be really, really good for you one game. The next game could not be good at all.
Yeah, it depends. It just depends. He's a young guy. He weighs as much as me, and he's 7 foot. He doesn't have that much strength going to the rim right now, obviously. He's relying on a lot of skill-based stuff, and he's a rookie. So his skills are going to increase. His size is going to increase. Things are only going to go up from here for him, I believe. But maybe this year you just look at him as a low-end pickup.
And the guy I'm really big on Thunder is Moses Brown.
Moses Brown is one of the bigger names to look for on the Thunder.
Yeah, Moses Brown is amazing. I believe at the beginning of the game, the Rockets announcers were just calling him 7'1" guy.
Moses, man.
He is looking really good. He's grabbing every rebound. He's gonna be blocking shots, and with Al Horford out, he is a must-have.
There's a lot of these good young centers out there. There was Robert Williams, he's mostly picked up now, but he's a good player.
Jakob Poeltl,
Nicholas Claxton almost. Justin Patton was popping off for a little bit. Now he's not playing, but
yeah,
there's just a lot of center is gonna have a lot of stuff for you. If that's what you're looking for in the waiver wire, just look well.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of names that I like here before we sign off today. I was gonna go over T.J. McConnell, but I don't know. He's minus 13% owned this past week, and he's still a good stats guy. So if he's free in your league, just swing him up, pick him up.
Still getting steals, doing all the little things.
Just had a couple bad games. So names that I like, I just went over this name a little bit ago. Robert Williams. I love this name because he's also on my team, so I really like him. Over the last 2 weeks, he's going 11, 10, and 2 with about a steal and 3.5 blocks, under 2 turnovers, shooting 75% from the field. Very good guy, and his stats, his minutes, they're only going to go up. What do you think?
I think he's going to do really well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much to add on him. He's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Really good pickup for fantasy.
Yeah. Alec Burks is the next guy I wanted to go over. It's just fun. I like Alec Burks kind of. He's shooting 42%, not too great. 85 from the field, pretty good. He's got 2 3-pointers made per game, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists over the last 2 weeks. Now, I would put him as a bit of a sell high, but his name's not going to have that much trade cachet in the league. So I just think he's a good name to just look at, maybe stream until the wheels fall off. He's a name that I like.
A lot of point guards hurt for the Knicks right now. I believe Emmanuel... why am I blanking? Emmanuel Quickly. Couldn't say that quick.
That's all right.
Emmanuel Quickly is out right now. Yeah. And I believe Derrick Rose is still out.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to see a lot of minutes for guys like Alec Burks who are combo guards.
Yeah. Last name on the list here. We already went over this one too a little bit. Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl's plus 6% owned in the last week in fantasy rosters. He's top 100 in the last 2 weeks, too, sitting at 98. Good efficiency, not so good from free throw. 62% from the field, 58% from the line, averaging about a double-double with 2 assists and about a steal and a half. So he's not on the level of maybe Robert Williams or maybe Moses, but I think he's still a good, favorable center to have on your team.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. Only downside about it, we've touched on it the last 2 weeks.
Is his free throw
percentage. Is his free throw
But if you're tanking, his value skyrockets, first of all. If you're tanking free throw, it goes up past 98 over the last 2 weeks. I'll tell you that. And then also, with Aldridge gone, he's only going to get more minutes.
Yeah. He's going to be one of those guys that could break out any minute.
So, that's about it for me, Gabe's Fantasy Corner.
That wraps up the names, and that should wrap up the whole podcast, right?
Good, because I already dropped my mic, so...
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in this week. We might see you guys this week for a trade deadline special.
Yes,
go over a
that'll
little
be
bit
exciting.
all the trades that happen. We assume it's going to be a lackluster trade deadline.
Yeah,
So
probably.
don't get too excited. But
I will.
we'll see what happens.
All right.
Anyway, guys, peace out. We'll see you guys next week.